Hi, I'm Tom Loucks, Wisconsin Rapids Community Media Coordinator for the City of Wisconsin Rapids. And this program is Get to Know Your City. And today I have Mary Wolosek here. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Tom.
And we're going to learn a lot about what's happening in the Parks and Recreation Department. So I'm going to turn it right over to Mary, and she's going to talk about the Municipal Zoo, which is one of the hot topics, great place to go, and let's hear about it.
Oh, thank you, Tom. The Wisconsin Rapids Zoo, it's open from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m., and the petting zoo is closed from 1 to 2 p.m. and also on Mondays. Mondays we're closed. It gives the zookeeper a chance to really clean the pens, and it also gives the animals a break from all the customers that come during the week. It is a very popular place for families with young children to come and visit us. It is free. We have a few simple rules and guidelines that we'd like the public to follow, especially if they have young children in the petting zoo. We ask that they leave their stroller outside, and that's kind of with a health code, because sometimes the animals mess and sometimes that gets out in the open where kids are walking, and we don't want different things to happen with their strollers running through it, and then little kids, of course, falling, picking up, and the first thing they do is put their hands in their mouth. We also, sippy cups and stuff and food, we ask that you do not bring in the petting zoo. Again, that's a health code. We do have food that you can purchase for 25 cents for a little glass with our petting attendant, and you can ask, they will instruct you how to keep your hands closed and keep your hand flat, and which animals are that you're allowed to feed, because we find that a lot of food gets left in the turtle pond, and the turtles don't eat that food, and then it gets, it has to be cleaned more often because of that issue. And then there's days, of course, like humans, where the animals are just hot and tired and they don't want to be petted, and they'll tend to be away from where the people coming into the zoo can reach them. And we obviously don't want parents to encourage their children to climb the fence or to set them over the fence to try to reach the animals, to pet the animals. Though sometimes the animals want to be away from everybody and they want their rest and quiet time just like we do. And then upon leaving the zoo, make sure that you use the hand sanitizers to wash your hands and all the kids' hands and stuff upon leaving. The animals outside the zoo, some people forget that they are wild animals, even though some of them seem very tame. But we ask that parents, watch your children and make sure that they don't enter their hands through the fence and gates and stuff to feed the animals. There are feeding dispensers for the animals that can be fed out there, as well as stations where you can purchase the food for the animals that are in the outside area. The lemurs are a very popular animal at the zoo because they're usually very active. And of course the alpaca and the Z-donkey are kind of fun to watch. Those are probably our most popular animals at the zoo. We also have tortoises, and we ask parents to please watch them because it is in the petting zoo area, but it's outside, kind of behind a corner, and it's hard for the attendant to watch all that area. So parents, please help out, make sure that your children aren't sitting on the tortoise or picking up the tortoise, because it's very common that we'll see pictures with kids sitting on the tortoise or picking them up. So those are things that we definitely don't want to do. And something new that we're offering on Thursdays is story time this year at 10:45. We have the petting zoo attendant, and it's rain or shine. It's free. It's a great family activity for parents with young children to come in and sit in the petting zoo area, and they read several books to the children so that they can learn about the zoo animals, and not just about the animals at our zoo, but also zoos across the United States. And then we also have different mystery activities, which we're offering. It's a very special event on August 1st, Tuesdays, all day long at different times. You can come and you can do mystery art. And that's where they're going to get a tattoo, some type of zoo animal tattoo on their face or their hand. And then Mystery Barrel, which we're going to have on the bulletin boards, we're going to have it all white. And we've got markers and crayons, and they can draw their animals on the wall so they can kind of decorate the petting zoo area for us. And then we also are going to have mystery zoo boxes. And we're going to have different size boxes where the kids can stick their hands into them. And on some of them, there's going to be a clue on the outside saying maybe what animal lives in this type of environment. And maybe there's a glass of water in there, or maybe there's sand, and then they have to try to figure out which animal that box is related to. And then the attendants will have all of the answers to those mystery zoo boxes. So it's kind of a fun hands-on activity, and those boxes are going to be placed throughout the zoo as long as it's not raining. If it's raining, all of the mystery boxes will be inside in the petting zoo area. And then the petting zoo will be basically open until August 27th. That'll be the last day. We'll close at 6:45, 7 o'clock p.m. that night. So there's still time to visit the zoo.
Oh yeah, quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
How do you come up with all these ideas? Every year there seems to be some new things that you do.
Creative imagination,
Yeah.
or you hear through the grapevine what somebody else is doing, or you see a different activity and say, oh, okay, how can I adapt that to the zoo, and what would the children like to do? So it's
Yeah.
kind of a fun job, and I mean, I'm willing to take ideas from other people.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
so to keep things going.
So you go over there quite a bit, make sure things are going, but you do have an attendant that feeds the animals? Is that how that works?
There's a zookeeper at the zoo that feeds the animals before we even open and cleans the pens and stuff. I do have a petting zoo attendant that's to assist. Their main job is to keep the animals safe because there's nobody else to protect them. So their main job is to make sure that there's water throughout the day. If there is a mess, they need to clean up the mess. And make sure that children aren't climbing the fences or parents aren't putting children in harm's way with the animal, and showing them how to correctly feed the animal, as well as following the rules inside the zoo and just having fun. And if there's animals that, like turtles, if they want to pet the turtle or whatever, that they're the ones that will handle and pick up the animals, that the patrons aren't allowed to do that.
Okay.
So
Well, it looks like there's plenty for families to do. It's free or a donation?
it's
Is
free.
that right?
We do have a donation which goes to the Zoo Society, which has gone towards maybe getting a more exotic type of animal at the zoo, or helping with different structural changes.
Okay. The city doesn't own the animals, though. You have to get them, is that
Yeah,
right?
we have contracts with different vendors. They have to be inspected by the state. And those rules are constantly changing, which is why some of you that have visited the zoo frequently may have seen that there's another fence outside in the wild part animals, because those are new changes and new laws that have gone into effect. So we're constantly upgrading and making changes to accommodate state laws.
Well, there's not a lot of zoos around. I mean, Marshfield, ours here in the city. But, to find one in every city, no, that's not
No,
going to happen.
it's a rarity, and we get a lot of comments about how beautiful our zoo is. We don't have a lot of exotic animals, but we've got a wide variety, and the kids really like the hand-on contact. We'll get a lot of grandparents that bring grandkids that are visiting to town, and they just say how nice our zoo is. It's really nice to be, you can get upfront personal with the animals, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. No, there's Helen's Park. Is that part of the zoo, too?
Helen's house is a rental at
Okay.
the park, and that's one of the shelters that we do reserve approximately about mid-May to about mid-October. It's air-conditioned, it's enclosed, it's our only enclosed rental. It costs $100 to rent the facility. It's based on first come, first serve. You can reserve it a year in advance, so if you know you want to reserve it for July 4th of next year, you can come in on July 4th of the current year and reserve it. So it's nice. It's got the kitchen pass-through. It's very popular for graduation parties. We've had some wedding receptions there because it is a very nice facility.
Yeah. So all they need to do is they can call your number.
They can call our office at 715-421-8240, or they can go online and reserve it at parks.wirapids.org. We take only reservation with payment. Like as I mentioned earlier, there's a $100 fee, and then we reserve basically Helen's House, which is probably our most popular reservation. And we have Robinson Park, which is an open shelter, which is a larger reservation, and that serves up to about 200 people, where Helen's House is about 50 to 60. You can fit comfortably in there without being, stacked upon each other. And then the other rental park that we reserve is Sandlot Park, and that's also an open shelter with an enclosed kitchen, and that serves about 75 people can fit underneath the shelter there. So it's a $100 cash, $100 deposit when you reserve it, and then we also have a $100 cash key deposit, and that's for Helen's House and Sandlot, because we have the kitchen. And some people that don't want to reserve the kitchen, or for whatever reason, then there would not be a $100 cash key deposit. They would bring the $100 in, they get the keys in return, and once the facility is cleaned up and they return the keys on the following workday, or depending upon if it's a weekday or weekend, they would return it, and then they get their $100 back. With Robinson, there's no $100 cash key deposit, only if they reserve the band shell, because then you need the key to get into the doors and the speakers and electrical
Okay.
room. So,
Well, that's a pretty nice deal, $100, and basically
and you have it all day long.
you have it all to yourself.
You have
and
it from, you have to be out by 11 p.m. That's the city ordinance, but,
By then, yeah,
but
I think the party's over by then, right?
most of the time,
Yeah, maybe you can move downtown, but,
maybe.
But, yeah, no, it sounds like there's a lot. I know that, we'll just go back to the zoo. You have a brand new parking lot in the last year or two, so that's another great addition that the city did, so.
Yeah, that was just put in the end last year, being fall. It provides buses to be able to pull up. We do have the overflow parking, but where people would park alongside of Helen's House, if you're familiar with it, kids would be running back and forth, and then you got cars trying to back out or trying to pull through the overflow park. It was just a dangerous situation. We're just trying to make it, feasible for
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, I remember, I have kids, and, you back out, and it was all a lot of times parked on grass.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to, so that's a great addition. But you have a lot more than just the zoo. So you have a
Definitely.
lot of programs, so I guess we'll go into the next topic.
Sure. We're going to go into our summer programs, and obviously, because we don't have our own facility where we run programs, we run a lot of our programs in the summer because we can run them outside, weather dependent. So new programs that we've offered, we've really expanded our programming, is Art in the Park for youth and adults. And youth, we've had one of our youth classes so far. We have 2 to go, and we've had a squirt splatter spray paint shirt, which was really kind of fun. The kids brought their t-shirts, and then we had dye mixed up and paint mixed up in spray bottles, and they got to decorate their t-shirts. And this next one that we're going to be doing here next week, as a matter of fact, is sports balls. We're taking different paint and sports balls, and you roll the ball in the paint, and then you can make different designs on your t-shirts. And then the last one that we're going to be doing is glow in the dark. We've got some glow in the dark paint for t-shirts, and the kids are going to be able to decorate their own t-shirt, so they can wear their art project all year long if they want. So those are kind of neat. And then the adult ones, we have acrylic painting. We have a beach scene painting, which class is filled. And then we've done several mini fairy garden classes, which have been extremely popular this summer. And it's kind of neat because at Helen's House in the summer, we can utilize that facility during the week when it's not rented to run different classes. And it's comfortable and cool, and you can bring your own beverage and sit down, relax, and have fun.
That's pretty cool that you have Helen's House to use all that stuff now.
Yeah, I wish-
That's been there for a while now.
Yeah, it has several years now. So we run a variety of different programs when we can. And I started running more programs there because we have the facility to utilize. So we're trying to keep it busy. And some of our regular classes that we offer, and some of these programs we offer year-round, not just during the summer. We have Red Cross Babysitting Certification class, where the children have to be at least 11 years old to take the class. And it's a 9 to 3 class, and they become certified in babysitting. And so
That's a good program. I saw it was full. The other day, I think Tuesday or Monday they were there this week,
Yeah.
and it was packed.
that program fills up usually on our first day of registration. That's a very popular class. I've had an instructor that's been with me for several years. She's an adult that teaches that class and does a very nice job. And we run 3 classes in the summer, and all of them are filled. And we would love to offer more classes, but she also has a family and has another job, so try to tie the two together. But we offer those babysitting classes year-round, fall, winter, and spring, as well as summer.
So what age group should attend those? Is there a certain age?
We had 11 and older.
Okay.
We've even had a couple adults in the past take
Oh.
the class. And we've had some of them that take it with their child just to see what they're learning. Most of them are between 11 and 13 years old.
Okay. Do you have to be certified? It's not a certification.
It is a
Oh, it is.
certification, and Red Cross recommends that they have to be at least 11 to
Oh.
take the class. I mean, they take a test. There's physical skills testing, diapering, bottle feeding, cradling.
Oh.
So it's a little bit more, what would you do? There's different scenarios. What would you do if a stranger came to the door? Do you answer the door? Do you not answer the door? What do you say? Or how do you answer the phone? What is the proper phone etiquette for when the parents are not home? Because in this day and age, that's important.
That's a lot to do and know. Is that a 2-day, 3-day class?
It's a 1 day from 9 to 3,
Okay.
and the students are given a book and a DVD that they're supposed to read and look at the DVD prior to coming to class. So
Okay.
they kind of have some basic information on what the class is going to cover. And then the instructor covers everything. And there's a lot of DVDs, movies and stuff that go over it, and there's a lot of repetition, as well as different paperwork that's
Okay.
done with the class.
So they'll take a test there.
Yes, they take the test at
Okay.
the end of the class in order to get their
And you gotta
certification.
pass it, I
And you
suppose.
have to pass.
Oh, so-
And I don't think we've ever had nobody not pass.
Okay, so she does a great
So
job.
she
to help.
does, she makes sure she covers the information
That's
that's on the
great.
test, so.
So yeah, and I think it'll make any parent feel better that one of their babysitters is certified.
It's certified and that they're well prepared,
Yeah.
possibly for an emergency type
Yep.
situation or just an accident on
Okay.
proper protocol.
Yeah, because, I don't know other places that really do that around
I
here.
know, not around here. There is a nationwide program called Safe Sitter, but that's more in the south and on the west coast. But the American Red Cross is your main program. They also have a Home Alone program.
Right.
And,
But yours is pretty reasonable. What's it cost? Not that much.
No,
I
I know you had to ask me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know when you go to other communities, you're looking at over $50.
Yeah, that's what
And
I-
ours is below 50.
Yeah.
Just because, we ended up purchasing our own mannequins because they do
Okay.
cover choking and basic first aid and basic CPR. Even though they're not certified in first aid and CPR, they do cover those topics. And we purchased our own just because it was so expensive to rent that type of equipment. So,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
yeah.
So they do that right at City Hall?
We do that
most
right
of
at
the
City
time?
Hall in the first floor conference room.
All right,
Yeah.
so when's the next registration if they missed the one in the summer because that was just the other day?
And I'm
Not sure yet?
I haven't worked on my fall programming
Okay.
yet, but it's usually the end of August, beginning of September
Okay.
when we start our registration for fall programming.
All right, but that's not too long from now, is it?
No,
Oh,
it's
wow.
right around the
I
corner.
believe July 13th already
I
today?
don't know where the summer went.
It'll be gone.
It's going fast.
Yeah. Well, you still have a bunch more things to talk about here. I think you guys keep going. You don't have a pool, but hey, maybe
No,
that'll be
but
down the road.
that's why we added more activities,
yep.
just keep everybody busy
Right.
and outside. Besides babysitting, we offer during the summer the basketball, golf, t-ball and pitch ball, volleyball, soccer, and tennis. Those we've offered every year, and some of those are very popular with the kids. The new program that I'm excited about is weird science experiments, and it was kind of fun because I thought, we're always offering all these athletic type of events, but we're not offering enough of these I call them non-traditional type classes. So I thought, there's kids out there, keep them busy, get them out of the house and active. So I've got I looked up some really cool experiments on the internet, and I put a class together. And we have our first one coming up, and I'm really looking forward to it. I actually went home last night just to see if this one was going to work or not. So I'm excited, so I hope the kids will be excited because we got like an exploding bag where you put different chemicals and stuff in it and set it out and it blows up and it pops. And then we've got the skewered balloons where you blow up a balloon, and there's a technique where you can put skewered bamboo sticks through the balloons and stuff, and you try to see how many you can get in there without the balloon popping. So, yeah, we're doing
Be
some,
tough.
there's a trick to it.
You can go in pretty far with the balloon
You're gonna go through the balloon
without it popping?
without it popping. See,
That-
you should take the class.
That's impossible.
No, it's not impossible.
Well, yeah, I saw that on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty
So
fun to do all these things.
we've got about 10 kids signed up for the first class, so I'm kind of excited because I've got, I think, 12 different experiments, and I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through them, or if we'll get through them all, but I've got a wide variety of different types of activities, and the participants will be helping with some of them, and there's a couple of them where all of them get to do it. And the last one that we do, everybody will get to take their last experiment home, which will be kind of fun for them. So
Oh, they get to do it on their own then too? Is
that
that how
last
that
one,
works? Okay.
all the instruction and stuff will be
Hey.
there, and we'll go through each one. And then the last one, they just get to take. I don't want to give it away.
No,
'cause
we don't wanna give it
It wouldn't
away.
be any fun,
No.
but they get to take their last
That'd be
experiment
cool.
home.
Yeah, no, we
So-
don't want to give it away.
No.
I bought a volcano kit, and that was pretty fun, but
There's ways of making the volcano stuff
I didn't
fly out
ours
rather
didn't
than
work
just
very
kind
much.
of
I didn't know what I was
dribble
doing.
out.
Yeah, it just kind of.
There's a trick to it,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can get the foam, more of a foaming type of volcanoes where it just kind of drizzles out. I'm hoping that it'll be more explosive.
I found somewhere when we were shopping, I
Mm-hmm.
had to buy it and
Try it.
myself with the kids. So
Yeah, that's kind of
you know,
fun.
it's kind of fun. So.
Yeah, so people can register online at parks.wirapids.org or call our office because we take registration with payment for all of our classes. We do offer resident and non-resident fees because a lot of times people misunderstood. They think because they have a Wisconsin Rapids address that they pay the resident fee, and basically non-resident is any location outside of Wisconsin Rapids city limits. You don't pay taxes to the city, like Buren, Grand Rapids, Nakusa, Port, outlying cities. So it doesn't go by your mailing address, it goes by where you pay your city taxes, not county taxes, but city taxes. So the residents are offered a reduction because some of the tax dollars are put towards the program, giving them a reduction in the cost of the programs.
Sure. Yeah,
But
that's
but people outside of the city in the community are allowed to take these
Right,
classes
really.
as well.
Anybody can. It's
Any-
just a little bit more. It's not a lot.
We get people from Stevens Point, Clover, Marshfield, Pittsville, Adams, Pitt. I mentioned Pittsville already.
Mm-hmm.
The surrounding communities, we do get people that take our classes and
Yeah.
stuff because they don't have a park and recreation department to offer, or they want to try something new and it's affordable.
Yeah, it's affordable, and hey, they come up to Rapids, and maybe they go out to eat too.
Yeah,
That's always good for our community to come up here as
Exactly,
well.
yeah. I'd like to move into our fall and winter and spring. Once we get into fall, sometimes we do offer tennis lessons outside at the tennis courts. But we move into the indoors, and as I mentioned earlier, we don't have our own facility, so we're kind of restricted on what we can offer. We tend to offer more adult activities because we do rent the gyms at Midstate, and we have a co-op program with the Wisconsin Rapids Public Schools, so we utilize their gyms. So we run adult pickleball, volleyball, and basketball leagues, and those usually start in November and goes to the beginning of March, all winter long. And then we offer brushes by night, acrylic painting for adults, and Christmas ornament painting classes, and those are a little bit restricted because we have a small room at City Hall, and I'm still looking for a bigger place, but, so we can only take so many people because there's only so much space. So we offer those during the fall and winter and spring. And the winter months outdoors, we do have the ice skating pond that is available and open, and that opens depending upon the weather, and if we can freeze ice, it's gotta be cold enough to get some frozen ice. We try to open when the kids are off for spring or for Christmas break, but that always doesn't work because if it's not cold enough, as I mentioned, then we can't freeze the ice. We gotta make sure we have a nice solid base before we move on. And the hours are 5:30 to 8 on weeknights, school nights. On weekends, it's from 1 until 8 p.m. and also on non-school days. We're open from 1 to 8. So Christmas break, if we happen to be open, 26th, 27th, we'll be open from 1 to 8, even though if it maybe fall during the week. The only days we're closed is on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. And we've tried to run different classes over there. Last winter was an unusual winter. We had a lot of warm weather where it melted, and we didn't have a lot of snow. So I tried to offer youth snowboarding with Lincoln High School in conjunction with them over at Poplar Springs Park. And we just didn't have enough snow. What little snow we had was packed down in ice, and for snowboarding, for beginners, ice and snowboards don't go well together. It'd be very hard for them to maneuver down the hill without just sliding straight down or falling over. So we try to offer snowboarding. We did offer youth volleyball. One of the Lincoln coaches, we co-opted with her, and we ran a youth volleyball on Sunday afternoons last year. And then we have also the snow building contest. And again, last winter we didn't have much snow, so we didn't, we had to cancel the event, unfortunately, just like we did with snowboarding. So I hope for a lot of snow come January usually, because then it helps with our programs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I wish we had a big sledding hill that was kind of like Iverson's.
Oh, isn't that nice?
It is nice.
Yeah, it's nice. There's been some Poplar Springs. We have a small heading hill over there, and that's going to be a little bit different this year because there was some construction over in that area with streets and stuff, and so that's actually going to be a better sledding hill for the community this coming winter, providing we have snow.
It is a nice hill, though. It is.
And it's
pretty
open
high.
and a long place to go, so it'll be interesting to see with the snow. And then another event that we offered, that I tried to offer last year, was color and skate over at Winter Ice, but the pond was already closed because we had warm weather, and once the ice starts melting and you don't get enough cold nights in a row, you can't remake ice. It makes it really tough. So I'm hoping to offer that where the kids can come color a couple pages and stuff, and then they can go out and ice skate and just have a snack and refreshments and
Yeah,
stuff.
because you have a place to go. It's heated inside. You have skates and all that for them, right? Isn't there an attendant there that works too?
There's an attendant there that works, and we have a lot of donated skates. So if you don't have your own ice skates, he's really good about, getting the proper sizes. I mean, the skates should fit real tight and stuff, and lace them up. And he keeps an eye on, we're keeping them sharp and the laces in good condition and stuff. So if you don't have ice skates, it's real common for parents to come down with their kids, and the kids will skate, but the parents don't. But we also have skates for adults.
Yeah.
We've got all sizes. They're all covered. So.
Yeah, plenty if we get the cold weather. But I don't want cold yet. It's only July.
No, I know. Why are we talking winter in July?
We had to.
It's like Christmas in July.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it is Christmas in July. Everywhere you go, it's Christmas in July. But
yeah. Another program, Tom, that I'd like to talk about is community indoor skating. And this will be our third year coming up that we have run this program in co-op with the Southwood County Recreation Center. Some people aren't aware of that they have open skate hours at their facility, and they want to make sure that the community is open and knows about that they have a facility for people to utilize year-round as well. And it's usually in December when we offer it. I believe it's been, the last 2 years, it's been on a Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, either 2 to 4 or 4 to 6, depending upon the schedule over there. And they have free ice time and free rentals for the community, cookies and punch for the kids and families just to come on out, see what the place is all about, try it out, let them know that facility exists. They can pick up a calendar and find out their open skate times and stuff, or about their programs as well. And we're hoping to do something special this coming year because it's going to be an anniversary year for them. So we're going to try to get together and see if we can come up with something. So I try to work with different nonprofit organizations to see if we can help each other out or just collaborate together and make it fun for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a nice rink and can work together. And I know one of the older persons had done something last time as well.
Yes.
Maybe it was a couple years ago.
No, the last 2 years he actually wrote out a donation check for them so that they could sponsor the event. Because there is expenses, especially with the hockey rink. It's not a cheap facility to operate. So he has helped with keeping the cost down for that
Right.
activity. And they've had over 100 kids both times.
Oh, wow, so
So
it is.
it's very popular.
Popular.
It's well received by the
Nice.
community. And some people have mentioned that they'd never been inside the facility before. So
Really?
what better way to bring it to the
Yeah,
community?
yeah, the River Kings are over there now too. I know it's not
Yeah.
part of our program, but hey, just
Well,
it's fun.
2 years ago, not the last year, but 2 years ago, we actually had Skate with the River Kings at Witter
right.
Ice Pond.
Yeah.
And that was really nice.
Well,
Unfortunately,
maybe again, I don't know.
I'm hoping.
I'll
I'm
have Marty
hoping.
do it.
Yeah, I've been in contact with
Okay,
Marty, so
yeah.
but part of it's with the weather, and they're
Right.
real busy, and they've had changeover with staff, and
Yep.
that's understandable. But
Definitely. So, well, you have a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, we
and
do.
it keeps going, and that's what
we
it's all
We
about.
just keep cycling over and over
Yep.
and again. We'll be getting
Yep.
ready for our fall. I try to post a lot of stuff on Facebook, on our Facebook, City of Wisconsin
right.
Rapids Parks and
Okay.
Recreation. We also try to keep our website up
Yep.
to date and up current. And if you're interested in getting on our email mailing list, I email everybody that's on our email list our flyers for each season. So you can call our office at 715-421-8240 to get on our mailing list, or like us on our Facebook pages, and I'm always posting information or pictures and photos of different programs that are going on.
Well, you stay busy. You're really your own in the recreation part. You have Dawn to help out answer the calls and
Yes,
stuff.
she's
But
my administrative assistant, thank goodness, because it's
Yeah,
not
you
a
wouldn't
it's not a one-person job.
yeah, how would you get outside? You wouldn't get to the program.
I wouldn't get to
because-
see how they're doing.
No,
It
it'd be
is
pretty
my young
tough.
staff, and check on them to make sure that the programs are running properly and smoothly.
Yeah. Well, you normally do the pool at this time as well, but at least now we're adding all these programs, which is great. And maybe in a year or 2 or 3, you'll be doing this large pool.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, that'll be fun. I keep telling them it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be
So-
nice. It'll be a nice addition to
Yeah.
the community for sure.
But you have that zoo, and that's one of a kind in the area, so
Yep.
you
The
got
zoo, the ice skating ponds,
Yeah.
and we have low board hockey
That's right.
at Robinson Park, because we don't allow hockey sticks or hockey pucks over on at Witter. So we keep the hockey players over, and that's utilized all the time. I mean, there's kids.
And that's
on
called low board, they
it.
call
It's called
it.
low board because it's not real high.
Okay, but they can bring their
But
hockey
they can
gear
bring their
there.
hockey sticks and pucks, and they can hit around, shoot around. There's a lot of small-sided games that are played at Robinson Park.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about Sandlot too earlier. I was just curious if anybody was still is watching this Sandlot. Where is that?
Goodnow, it's out by Goodnow Street.
Okay, now I know where it is. I was just trying to
I'd
think.
mention establishment because probably
Yeah.
most adults would know.
They probably, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just, I knew.
It's near Goodnow Street.
Okay, yep. Now I know where it is. I just
And there's a
couldn't.
couple of baseball fields there, horseshoes, basketball.
Does your department do anything with Whitterfield? Do they have to do stuff with that as well? Or is that kind of managed for the rafters by them at this
There's a
point?
contract. There's actually 3 entities that are involved: the city, the rafters, and the school district. 'Cause,
Okay.
during the school year, the school district is busy with they utilize that area and green space and some of the facilities for their Phi-Ed programs. So we all work together. That's
Yep.
what it's all about, is working.
And you have the big one out here by the school on the west side too. That's where all the softball fields are.
The
And-
men's and women's softball basically are there. There was 2 little league fields there, but now there's only one because that's where the splash pad is.
Splash pad.
The Mead splash pad is going, and they've been working on that diligently. If
Mm-hmm.
you drive by, you can see the progress going on that. We're hoping to be open, around Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, that would be neat to have it open right around that time.
That
Hopefully
would-
all goes and
Hopefully, if with the weather.
the weather. But it's been warm till like October, November now. It's like seasons go longer. Then it's and then we don't get warm weather
Yeah.
until June.
Climate change, maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
So
So
we'll
who knows?
see.
One of these days, winter will start. They'll change it. It'll be.
It's almost
January.
like we're in spring though, with all this rain we've been
Oh, yeah.
having.
A lot of
I mean,
rain.
one of our T-ball program on Wednesdays, I think that with the exception of last night, was 3 Wednesdays in a row, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it could stop raining any time.
Yeah, we made it in Plover, just made it in the game in,
Mm.
but almost every Wednesday we were getting canceled. So, Yeah.
It's
Well,
weather dependent.
you're right. That's what we get when we're outside. So, well, thanks for coming by. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for inviting me,
Yeah,
Tom.
and we learned a lot about Parks and Rec, and there's a lot of opportunities for people here in our community as well as anybody out. All they have to do is give you guys a call, and you're pretty much open Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, 8 to noon and 1 to 4:30 p.m. Closed on weekends.
Yep. And then you can register, or you can always go on. They can always go online too, so they don't have to wait to reserve. You've got that online program, and put their credit card in, and it's already done.
It's done and it's reserved.
Yep, and they can always call on a weekday just to make sure everything is going.
They're sent a receipt automatically,
Oh, wow.
so then they already know that
They already know.
they already know they're good to go.
Yeah, so that worked out. That works out great. So, all right. Well, thanks again, and I want to thank you guys for watching us here on Wisconsin Rapids Community Media for Get to Know Your City. Thanks for watching.